What if the secret to organically growing an app wasn't making content, but making comments instead? And what if you could do it at a scale that seems virtually impossible? You got 7,000 clicks on the campaign, and how many comments did that take?
I believe around 300,000, maybe. Yeah, I guess around that.
You did not hear that wrong. 300,000 Instagram comments from one campaign. The crazy thing is, this isn't a team of 100 virtual assistants. This is two guys, Nick and Ivan, and an army of automated phones.
We automated a bunch of physical devices, and we did our own version of Android that can load and unload the ROM of the whole device. So each account will have basically its own unique phone.
After 8 years of working together, from running Minecraft servers to building a consumer app for flights, they stumbled upon a new way to grow. And they realized that getting app users on social media is a lot like B2B sales. This kind of reminds me of cold email a little bit, where people are warming up these inboxes.
Yeah.
And if you want to send, 50,000 cold emails, you have to set up dozens of inboxes and spread the emails across all of these inboxes. They're literally applying the science of cold email to the art of Instagram comments. But the part that blew my mind is that the comments that work best aren't spammy or super subversive or anything like that. They're just straight up transparent.
When you test these things, you find things that work surprisingly good. So you might think that being upfront about this being your own app, your own company, and so on would, harm your engagement, but it does the opposite often. So people like it.
And with just 60 phones, they're already generating massive results, but they're not stopping. They're scaling to 1,000 devices, which would be able to post 21 million comments a month.
What we can do with 1,000 devices. So in 1 month, that's almost 1.5 million videos and 21 million comments. So just as a scale perspective, that's like replying to every single person on Mr. Beast Reels on Instagram within like a month.
In this episode, Nick and Ivan pull back the curtain on the future of distribution, the art of building a technical moat that your competitors can't copy, how to write comments that actually convert with a 15% click-through rate from profile to link, and how they're turning this underground agency into a platform to let anyone command an army of automated social media agents. This is the playbook for distribution using a channel you might not have thought of before at a scale you've definitely never seen before. Let's get into it. This is the Superwall podcast, and I'm Joseph Choi, founder of Consumer Club. The members in the Consumer Club Discord and the founders I interview on the pod build apps at a median of about $1 million ARR. In my conversations with dozens of these founders every week, one thing I've noticed is most of them A/B test their paywalls to increase their conversion rates and make more money. Now, most people know that one of the best ways to A/B test paywalls is Superwall. But one thing you might not know is Superwall has a lot of data on the thousands of apps that use their paywalls. So recently they actually put together a tool that takes 422 profitable paywall experiments and put those into a paywall experiment generator where you can upload a screenshot of your own paywall and it'll give you an experiment idea to increase your revenue. You can use it for free at paywallexperiments.com. All right, let's get into the pod. Most people think of app growth through either organic or ads. You're either posting content or you're putting content in ads and people see the content in the ads. But for you guys, you're posting comments on other people's content. So there's other content that's going viral or is relevant to a niche, and then you're posting comments and getting users through that. Can you just explain how that works and how you got started figuring this out?
Yeah, so the way it works is we create accounts, we brand them, we set them up, configure them, and the goal is to make the real speed of these accounts show the trending content in the niche that we want to target. So we don't want to target random content. We want to specifically find like trending viral videos or videos that have potential to go viral. So that's why we can just rely on search. We need to specifically set up the For You page feed in a right way. And the way it works is we warm up the accounts using AI filters. So we basically set up this prompts, the system that analyzes the videos, what's going on in them, and it finds the videos that are the right fit, and we engage with these videos. We skip the videos that we don't want to engage with. The accounts, you can see they are branded to look like official sub pages for interns of the company that we promote. So if it's an app, then that's just an account that represents this app. And the bio fits, and the link in bio is just the app store. So simple on this side. So like I said, if the content is the right fit, we engage with it. If it's not, we skip it. The comments are analyzed with AI too, so that we see if there's the potential to reply to people and if there's the potential to comment on the video. If there are tons and tons of comments that are like irrelevant, then people won't read the comment section, so we need to skip it. And if people are already highly engaged in this comment section, then it's probably can be a good idea to also reply there. So we see the comments that are a fit and those that are, and obviously we skip those that are not relevant, and we focus on those that are. So comments can look in a lot of ways. There's always multiple sub-campaigns to test what works best. There are a ton of approaches that you can take. So one of them, for example, is we can answer the specific question that people ask in the comment section. The questions are related to the video that that we target. And we just target to this. We just answer these questions, and then only at the end of the comment we add some sort of CTA to check out our page. Other option could be instead to ask a question. So our accounts also want to engage in the conversation, so we ask questions to people, and then we, for example, name drop the app. So yeah, it can be a lot of ways that it can look like. The third option is, for example, the story, and doesn't even include any kind of call to action, but has some sort of engagement starter, like mentioning something that is going on some certain app or even our pages everywhere, but like doesn't ask for anything. It just makes people wonder and want to check out our page. So yeah, we don't reply to everyone. We don't want to target people who just say thank you, thanks for the video, and so on. We only target people who actively engage, who ask questions or state their opinions and so on. So yeah, and comments and replies are basically UGC and text form. So the same principles that apply to UGC videos, they apply to comments and replies. For example, in this comment, we specifically say that some sort of story, and that we use this specific app for our exercises. And this naturally makes people wonder, what kind of app are you talking about? Like, what's this app? And some people will ask it inside our replies, and some people will just go straight to profile and go from there. Yeah, another example is, like I said, positioning our accounts as workers of this brand, workers of this app, or friends of the founders of founders themselves. And so we provide some sort of value first and then mention something about the app. Another option is also like UGC type thing, where it's some kind of body that recommended the app, and so our accounts are gonna try it out too.
So can you go back to that first screenshot example in the slide 7?
Yep.
Yeah. So can you explain why are these good comments? Like, what are these doing?
I think it comes down to two things. So obviously, first, the comment must be context dependent. It cannot be copy paste, random thing, straight promotion. It needs to be context dependent. It needs to talk about what's going on in the video and what people are already talking about in the comments. So the comment itself has to be of good quality. For example, it starts with a story, which already makes people, it's like a hook inside the videos, but the same thing applies to text. And it ends with a very soft, like it's not even a call to action. It's just a mention, like, saying a fact. And that makes people engage with this content. The second part of it is not just the comment itself, is the video under which it's posted and the timing of the video. So if we find the videos that have viral potential and we one of the first people to post under it, then our comment will be on the top, and it will have much more potential to go viral inside the comment section. And if the video is already too old, then there's basically no point to, leave a comment there, because they won't go viral.
It's interesting. So basically the scripts for these comments, this one says, once I tried working out by myself, thinking I was an expert just because I watched a few videos. Let's just say I ended up with all my muscles sore and spent a week in bed, laughing emoji. It's wild how much I learned, though. Now I use an app for my exercises. So it's that's the soft CTA you're talking about. And so then how does that actually work? Do people then wonder I wonder what app they're using, and then they ask in the reply, and then you follow up again with the name of the app? Or are they going and clicking the profile and seeing a link in bio?
We actually do both. So sometimes people can just reply and we will follow up on them. It's actually something that we developed somewhat recently. And also all of our accounts have either mention of our client in the bio or just a website link to the client's app.
Interesting. And these are this is multiple comments on a single post then?
Yep.
Yeah, it depends on the algorithm. Sometimes we just post multiple comments. Sometimes we do a lot of replies depending on the video itself.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so this is like the story format, and then could you go to slide 8 again? Okay, and then these are, let's see, this says calories can vary so much based on what you use. Instead of counting them, focus on how these pancakes can fuel your day with nutrients. If you're curious about smart eating habits, check out the health app co-founded by my friends and me. It has tips just like this. So that was more of a hard CTA. Still not naming the app, right? But
Yep.
a little bit more of a like, hey, I'm actually a founder of this app. I'm providing like a useful comment about calories. It's like an educational comment, but also I'm being very transparent up front that, hey, I'm talking about my company here. But I imagine at scale, if you post like, if you post this on every video about calories, it starts to add up. Like this comment has 800 likes. So how many people should you expect to click on the profile on a comment that has something like 800 likes?
Well, yeah, it heavily depends on the call to action. In this case, and yeah, it's not trackable to be clear, but based on this one, it's like it can usually be like thousands of profile visits, surprisingly. So some people don't even press like, they just go straight to profile. And then the question is how many of them will click on the link. And that's why the profile branding is also very important, because we want to optimize for people who not just click on our profile and leave, but to either engage with our profiles, which would feature, for example, the content about the app, and obviously click on the link in bio to, install the app. The interesting thing is that this kind of co-founder angle that, me and my friends created this app, it worked like surprisingly well. So we didn't expect that, but yeah, when you test these things, you find things that work surprisingly good. So you might think that, being upfront about, this being your own app, your own company and so on would, harm your engagement, but it does the opposite often. So people like it. People like you being upfront. And this is not something that they usually encounter.
Yeah, I feel like you see that same, it's almost like an anti-pattern where the established normal pattern is everyone trying to be covert and trying to be like hidden advertising. But I feel like people value authenticity, and like things just stand out when you go against the grain.
Exactly.
Kind of reminds me of Reddit posts where like these artist posts that go viral, where it's like the person with their face like holding up their piece of art. And it's like those get a lot more engagement than just the art itself, because like, I don't know, people like that, oh, this person's like building a company and they're passionate about enough to share it with random people in Instagram comments. It's like it's a way to like create the connection. And then you said the second step of that connection is actually when the people go to the profile and then you see the profile. So could you go back up to where you showed me that first profile? Yeah, so this is like Lena, the wellness girl. So this is not an example of one of the founder profiles, or would you use this also for?
It's similar. So it says representing and then the app name. So yeah, for example, within this bundle of like social agents, as we call them, you would have certain, angles to see which one of them, for example, convert better from profile to actual click, right? And the very important part of it is bio and the name of the account, and the content on the account. So that's why, for example, it can go like on this screenshot saying like fitness and tech, but it also can start with saying that, I founded this app and the name of the app, for example. So, and then we'll see which one of them will work better.
Yeah, I feel like founder stories generally do pretty well on TikTok and Instagram. Like I've heard of a lot of app founders doing pretty good like founder-led content for UGC. So I guess it makes sense that it would also work in comments.
Yeah, in this one, the kind of, again, it's not necessarily the call to actions as they usually are. It just says that, my buddy recommended some kind of app and I'm going to try it out. So it's also kind of this soft approach. But it at least it includes something at the end of the comment, right? To point the people to our direction. Because usually if you have nothing at the end of the comment, then like you're kind of expecting people to just visit your profile on their own like curiosity. And there are things and there are hacks that you can use to also use that to your advantage, of course. But yeah, usually you want at least something inside the comment to, you know, point people in the right direction. Yeah, this one on the left just says that about the app that, you know, our page loves, and that it offers some kind of tips. Now, this one surprisingly also got like a lot of engagement from people. I guess because it's very specific, especially at the beginning of the comment. Like it specifically talks about the condition that is, you know, the video is about. So, and that it affects daily life. So yeah, this one might look like something more on the more hard pitch side, but it still works sometimes. The right one is also interesting because it doesn't say about the app; it talks about the clip about the app. So it's like it directs people to our profile to check the video, and we are using something like this a lot right now, for example. So we'll do even more approach like that because it also makes people like wonder, like talking about the app. It's kind of more direct, and not everyone is ready to install another app. But watching another video while they are on Instagram, that's an interesting thing. So that makes them visit the profile and engage from there.
As I'm reading all these examples of different angles for the comments, it makes me think that there must have been a pretty long iteration process for you guys to figure out what types of content are in the meta right now and start to saturate and start to feel like AI comments, and which like leads you to pivot and continue to try to stand out. Is that accurate? Do you feel like you always have to get ahead of like what consumers are used to and then changing up the content?
Yeah, even more than that, they change with time. Yes, we don't only want to stay ahead for the consumer behavior, but also to algorithms. For example, there was a situation when one of our angles for one of our clients, it worked for two weeks, and then it just stopped working without any changes on our side. It just, Instagram would start detecting it and just wouldn't even let it through. And we fixed that by changing it. Even within the same angle, we still use different like prompts to, you know, different examples, different context for AI to generate them better.
I'm curious. Let's like zoom out, and I want to learn about your guys' like founding story. Like, how did you get into this Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Did it start with Instagram comments, or was there something before?
Yeah, we've worked together for like the last 8 years as a team, and we've started as a Minecraft modding team. So we had a Minecraft server and went tech heavy on it. We did a bunch of custom games and modes, and eventually it was very fun. We learned like a lot of development stuff and a lot of how to talk to people, how to get customers, how to get more money out of our customers and stuff like this. It was very funny. Eventually it got acquired, and we pivoted at the time to even more tech-heavy private blockchain development. And after that, we decided to develop a AI native plane ticket search, basically. So that was a B2C app, and we had to reinvent. Basically, we had to find a way to find clients. And one of our buddies at the time recommended us trying TikTok UGC style videos. They were just on the horizon back then. So with our technical background, we've decided to just automate TikTok instead of just recording these videos. So yeah, we got 100 million views out of it. We just promoted our clients' music. Then we switched to Instagram because of the TikTok ban. Yeah, so that's our story.
So you were building your own flights app, a consumer app, and you were trying to promote it through TikTok. So you did TikTok content automation. You got hundreds of millions of views on TikTok. What was that content about?
Yeah, mostly it was memes, and sometimes it was videos made by our clients. So UGC type videos that are reposted from their main accounts, videos with some edits. And yeah, mostly it was like pure entertainment.
I see. So it wasn't promoting anything?
Some of them are promotional, and some of them are not. But yeah, some of them were just more on the again soft pitch side. And we did the same thing, for example, with watermarks. So we tested a lot of things.
Interesting. What was the most interesting result that you got from the TikTok views?
In terms of views, like I would say there were crazy results all the time. Like some accounts, they perform amazingly well, like since day one, and you just don't expect this type of results, but you get them. So like 200,000 views on the first video, and one time I believe we even had like 900,000 views on the first video. So that was crazy times. The highest we got per one video was around 2 million views. And it was also very surprising because, the video, it was actually an image, and it just showed some kind of random thing that, without any kind of text, without anything. Like we had promotion in the description, but the video itself is just a static image, and people just went crazy. Like 2 million views, and I don't remember, like tens of thousands of comments, I think. So it's like crazy.
So all of these like viral TikToks were mostly just, was it kind of like a proof of concept for you guys?
Yeah.
Let's just try to go viral on TikTok. There was no like business behind it necessarily.
I would say it was part of the business to just prove the concept that our automation system can run TikTok accounts and they can get a lot of views. And also we did promotion for we included the music of our clients in these TikToks, and they paid for 1 million views.
Yeah. One of the goals that we wanted to reach at that time was to make people film their own videos by, first. So we use the client's music inside our video, and people just click on the sound and click use this sound and record their own videos. And so, for example, when we included call to actions about this specific action, so go and film out your own video, we had results from this. But yeah, on the business side, it wasn't the best thing ever. It was more of a proof of concept and proof of the technical detail, because we ourselves are not a content creation team. And this type of thing requires clients to, provide their own content or provide concepts for the content and so on. And we had to do everything, most of the things ourselves. And this is too difficult. So that's one of the biggest reasons why we switched to comments, because comments are much easier to iterate, and we can just focus on, coming up with creative ideas and developing tech.
So that's an interesting nuance that I don't think many people are going to catch. So what you just said is that you don't make the content. So when you were making TikToks, all you did was automate the posting of the content. So can you just explain, why is that necessary? Why, you said that was almost your whole business, just the automation of the posting, while your clients would actually make the content. So why was that so valuable? Or why is that so valuable to businesses?
I would start with the fact that besides the uploading itself, it's also account engagement and account warm-up. So you want your accounts to not just post videos and leave the app, you want them to engage with the app, you want them to engage with other people, and so on. And this is a lot of work. Why companies wouldn't do it themselves? Well, they do, but this requires hiring VAs, hiring clippers, hiring people that you need to manage most of the time. And these people, even then, if you're able to manage all of them, they are still people, and they can't do 1,000 things at once. They can't automate. They can't use 1,000 phones at once. Most of them at least. And so, this is a question of scale. This is the question of practicality, and the question of, do you want to manage a ton of people who often don't want to be managed and want to do their own thing? Or do you want the system that works just 24/7, with very little moderation on your side?
Okay, so it's a question of scale. When businesses post content, they're not just posting on a single account. They're posting on, how many accounts would they post on?
Yeah, I think a lot of businesses want to do as much as possible.
And the more accounts you have on one device, the less trust you will have from the social media. I think on TikTok, you can add somewhat close to 10 accounts per one device. And the more you have, the less trust you get, the less views you get, the less engagement you get. Basically, algorithm detects that you are abusing it, and that's it.
So normal people can't run too many accounts.
So what you're saying is there's kind of a value chain in this whole organic content economy where it starts with the content creation. So you make the content and then even before that, it's like figuring out what content to make in the first place. So content strategy and like creative research. Then it's, okay, now how do I take these concepts and strategy and make a bunch of content? So that's like generative AI platforms. And then third is how do we actually post the content? Because like you just said, TikTok and Instagram have, anti-botting algorithms, and they don't want you to have too many accounts on a single phone. And they definitely don't want you to have, 100 accounts all posting,
Every
content all the time, every day. But you guys do that. So what does it take to be able to do that?
We automated a bunch of physical devices, and we did our own version of Android that can load and unload the ROM of the whole device. So each account will have basically its own unique phone. By this design, we can just change account by demand, giving us 20 accounts on Instagram and around I think 100 or 200 accounts on TikTok per day per device. And with all of that, we also have our own system how to press buttons to be undetected by the algorithm, how to interact with the phone in a way that it will think that we are actual real humans.
It's pretty insane. That's kind of like the core like secret sauce of this whole thing, and it is a real bottleneck for a certain scale. Like once you crack an organic format, imagine what you do next. Well, you want to multiply it. You want to post it like 5 more times. Yeah. What are you going to do? Post it 5 more times on like one single account? Probably not. Like if you're going to post 100 times, and it's a format that works really well, then you're probably going to need more accounts, more phones. So you guys like have that infrastructure. So yeah, that's really interesting. What do you think is the limitation? Like why are more people not doing this?
Well, at first a lot of companies are starting to do that. Actually, I think UGC stuff is just starting to show up on our radars. Just a couple of years ago, there was like a few companies that did that. And right now we have VCs investing in phone infrastructure startups and quite a bunch of them actually. So I think it will be the future of content distribution in the very short period of time.
It feels like this is a very like almost controversial topic in the, I guess, like app or creator economy or UGC space. And if you think about it, like right now, all the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Meta, like they have all of the leverage. They have literally infinite like power. They have all the distribution, right? Like what else are you going to spend like 6 hours a day on? Like there's no apps that really contest like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And startups seem like they're kind of fighting back. And like you said, VCs are almost like funding this idea that let's just, like these platforms have their rules because they want to protect their platforms against like people taking distribution into their own hands. And it seems like you guys are like part of that, like that startup wave of like, let's try to like sidestep their game almost. It's a completely new world. I think normally on this channel, I talk to a lot of founders that are doing UGC sort of by the book, but something that not a lot of people think about is UGC organic is inherently competitive to TikTok's interest. Like they don't want you to go viral with UGC and make money from it because they would rather have you spend money on ads, right? Like if you're just paying creators, TikTok gets none of that. On a big picture, like they're incentivized for mass scaled UGC operations. They're incentivized for those to just not work, which is why they fight so hard to like shut down these kinds of things. So does that ever scare you guys? Like, do you feel like you're up against kind of this like huge machine that's always trying to like shut you down?
Not at all, actually. It's quite the opposite. On Instagram, like only like the smallest percentage of people are creating the content. Most of the people are consuming the content. So there is like a giant gap between content creators and content consumers. So with any content that performs, which is the only content that works in terms of advertisement, in terms of UGC that does perform, you're helping the social media app, actually. You're filling this endless, well, you're filling the void of missing content for people to consume. Social media apps are craving people that create content, great content. And if we distribute content that doesn't perform, that doesn't get any views, doesn't get any engagement, then, well, nobody's afraid of that. Why would you be? Nobody's gonna see it. It doesn't harm anyone. So, yeah, only the content that does perform shows up on the feed, and if it shows up on the feed, it gets social media engagement up. Therefore, we are helping the social medias.
Yeah. I would also add to it that it's really even more prevalent in like underserved niches. Like there are categories of content that not that many people create, but people want to consume. And so with like Instagram and Facebook, they want to like have everyone on their platform that they would need to serve their interests. And then again, for their own ads, they need to be able to target people who express interests in certain things. And why wouldn't they would like to do it from within their platform? When people consume like things inside the categories that they want to consume, the Meta would be able to target them and show them ads in this specific niche. So that's a win-win.
So when you reach out to creators and you're about to invest into organic social and maybe boosting those videos with paid ads, you don't want to just let the creators do whatever they want. Most of the app founders I talk to on this channel basically have the same content philosophy. The videos need to go viral, but also convert and promote an app, and ideally are also repeatable. And those formats are like gems and really hard to find. That's why TikTok can sometimes feel like a lottery system. So what a lot of Consumer Club members do is they use this tool called SpyTalk, which brain rot scrolls hundreds of thousands of TikToks and just finds the most viral ones that promote apps. So here I search for fitness, gym, workouts. Let's say you like run a fitness app. I'm going to sort by most viral. And here's this 106x outlier video that promotes a fitness app. And it shows a text hook. It shows the image in the background. And then on the second slide, it has this CTA in a really creative way. And SpyTalk has been the secret weapon for growth strategy for 11 Labs and Amo and Voodoo, which is the app studio that owns BeReal. So I recommend SpyTalk. It really is the only other tool I explicitly recommend on this channel other than Superwall. Yeah, that's a really interesting take. And I feel like that take has evidence to back it up, because if you look at like the Meta AI or Sora, they're completely leaning into the idea that, yeah, there's underserved content needs, and like there's big audiences that want certain types of content. Let's not wait for other people to make it. We'll just make it ourselves. So now they have full feeds of just pure AI content. Some people say that's dystopian, but from the platform's perspectives, they see that people want certain types of content, so they're supplying it. What was in the rest of this of these slides? And we can keep going.
Yeah, this is just the overview of the funnel. Yeah, if you want that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, so yeah, explain this funnel.
Yeah, so the commenting funnel is very simple. Basically, once we found people to reply to, or once we found videos to comment on, we obviously post our things, and the people see the comment that they like. They if the comment doesn't mention the specific app, then the only option for the person is to either reply to us and ask about the app that we promote, or visit our profile. Once they visit our profile, they engage with content that we have, and the goal is for them to click on a link in bio. And once they do that, they obviously get to the App Store or the website that we promote, or the main IG page of the brand that we promote. So some accounts don't even have links in bio, they just have mentions in bio, and mention leads to the main brand page, which obviously is full of content and social proof and so on. And yeah, from there they just convert. So it's installs, signups, email opt-ins, follows on socials and so on. this is just the results of one of the campaigns. And the next slide will show even like more concrete details. So the campaign is the campaign that we run is USA-based healthcare app. So it's about fitness, it's about nutrition, it's about sleep quality, and the campaign is still ongoing. And so far we did like almost a half of the campaign. And based on the metrics that we have, we project like this campaign to bring like 4x the return. The numbers are here.
So the main thing that's interesting here is the clicks. So you got 7,000 clicks on the campaign, and how many comments did that take?
I believe around 300,000, maybe. Yeah, I guess around that.
300,000 Instagram comments, and you got 7,000 clicks on that. So like, how many of those comments are actually getting a decent number of likes and kind of like hitting the algo, so to speak, within the comment section?
Yeah. Smallest percentage of comments are getting enough exposure to generate the results. So like with the UGC videos, you get like 100 videos, and out of them like 10 are performing great and others are kind of low. And so you generate your almost entire results with just a small percentage of that.
Right.
Content.
Yeah, the important part is that in the beginning, we had a lot of problems with this campaign. So in the beginning, you basically like, you post comments and you get nowhere. And so you have to iterate, you have to change angles completely, not just, slight changes, but significant changes. And so it took some time for us to figure out that, these angles that we showed before, like co-founder angles and friend made this with me angle, that these angles actually work. And then again, like I said, it's an ongoing process. So within the sub campaigns that we run, we also need to do these tweaks and changes, like changing the whole account identities, like the way that they look. So that's also very important. A lot of comments are just like experimental ones.
How many comments are you posting on each phone per day? 300,000 comments in total. That I'd imagine that's got to be a lot of phones and a lot of comments per account.
Yeah, I would say actually not. So our current size of our infra is pretty small. And so we are able to achieve even these results with a very small amount of devices. And the numbers are basically the phones on Instagram. We run from 12 to 24 accounts per day per each phone. And each account posts up to 60 comments. So that's it. Yeah.
60 comments a day. That's pretty crazy. So it's like, 10 to 20 accounts per phone. And then that's a lot of accounts per phone. And I guess that's because of some of the, remote, I don't know exactly how you guys do it, but the tech stuff that you're doing. And then 60 accounts. This kind of reminds me of cold email a little bit, where people are warming up these inboxes. And I think the standard nowadays is like, you can only send like 15 emails per day, and you have to spread that across like 100 different mailboxes. So if you want to send 50,000 cold emails, you have to set up dozens of inboxes and spread the emails across all of these inboxes. Do you feel like this has parallels to the cold email? Do you guys talk to like cold email people at all?
We didn't talk much to cold email people. Just I can only remember one person, but it's really an awesome analogy, because even with cold email, with Instantly, you have this automatic warm up where you would literally send the emails that are less have less potential to go to spam than like your normal sales emails, right? And we do basically the same thing. Like, some of our comments are so harmless, like they have no call to actions at all, they have no mentions of anything, just to show that this is a good account, this is an account that engaged like a normal person. So sometimes they would mention something that they did with their friends, and sometimes they would just talk about what's going on in the video, and that's it. So same thing as in cold email.
That's really wild. It's like that's so crazy to think about. And a lot of people don't even realize that that's how all of these B2B SaaS companies that raise, hundreds of millions of dollars, they all run on cold email. They all run on sending what some people would think of as like spammy content, but that's how you do outbound. Like, you just have to reach a ton of eyeballs, and a certain percentage of those people will be interested and send a reply or visit your website. And yeah, it seems like this idea is like coming into B2C. And I guess it's kind of always been here, but you guys are kind of leading like a pretty interesting angle on it. Cool. What was the next slide?
Yep. That's a bit about like scaling potential. So you ask us how many devices we have, and this is kind of a small math thing about like what we can do with 1,000 devices. So 1,000 devices is, let's say, on average is 60,000 active accounts. So 60 accounts per phone. Kind of small number. We can go higher, but let's settle on this number. So each one of them posts 3 videos a day and 45 comments a day, like not even 60, which is also possible. And so in 1 month, that's almost 1.5 million videos and 21 million comments. So just as a scale perspective, that's like replying to every single person on MrBeast Reels on Instagram within like a month. So that's a crazy amount of exposure that you can get. And obviously, like with campaign of this size, people will start talking about this, like posting about it on Twitter, posting about it on like Reddit, posting articles, like discussing this, and this basically makes the company go viral. So that's with 1 month of posting.
How many devices do you have right now? Is it 1,000?
Right now, we only have 60. Because of the optimizations that we can do on the phones, it's enough to provide valuable results.
Yeah.
But 1,000 is not big, by the way. So like 1,000 is the first step. And then like it's thousands from there.
Yeah. So you guys want to scale this more. So you have 60 phones right now. You want to have, 1,000, which could create 21 million comments per month. 1,000 is just the beginning. Like you could do more and create, hundreds of millions of comments a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's our plan.
Interesting thing that you said was like there's a gap in the market where there's audiences that want content and there aren't enough people to make that content. So what you're saying is if you have thousands of devices making all this content, will the majority of the content in the feed, including the comments, be like completely AI in the future?
I actually believe this will be the future because most of the time, like 99% of the time, reels that you see in your feed aren't from your friends. They're from some big creators that do this all the time. So social aspect of social media is actually not creating the content or consuming the content that your friends produced, but is sharing this content between your friends. So most of the time people just share memes and useful videos like tips and advices and stuff like this between themselves and the group or between individuals. So that's the actual social aspect of the social media.
That makes sense. Yeah. And I guess what you're doing is you're basically just replacing these big content teams, like these production teams, where you're saying that the content out there already is automated. It's just not completely AI generated, but it's still automated in a way because there's a huge team with tons of money behind it to create super high volumes of content, like the MrBeast channel and the dozens of other channels that company has. And now you can automate. Maybe MrBeast is not going to AI, all his videos, but if a team that is smaller than MrBeast doesn't have that production capacity, wants to create more content, they're probably going to need to leverage AI in some way to, get the volume up.
It's almost the case, but I don't feel like we are replacing them. I feel like we are creating ways to work with them. Like there are guys that will provide you a ton of UGC videos for money. They will hire a bunch of students and they will just pay them for the content that they create. So we can just redistribute this content instead of these students. They can just focus on the video creation and not the account warm-ups and stuff like this. And huge teams, I don't think we are gonna kill them because they put so much effort and care into their content. I think they will be evergreen. And again, with some of them, we can just work together to create more of the content and distribute it quicker.
Yeah, you're like arming the rebels in a way, but
exactly.
I'm sure there's certain amounts of AI that all that like teams of any size could implement.
Ivan, would you tell more about the AI thing? I think we have a friend in the niche.
Yeah, so I would say that it works positively for both like AI and like purely human-made like content. Because again, for humans, it will allow you to just, you just create videos, and every single part about social media works on autopilot. So you don't need to manage any accounts. You don't need to manage like anything. You just create videos, one click, and everything is working. So I think that's like that's the near future that will be possible soon. So even if you don't use a lot of AI, you would still get so much more productive by removing this like boring tasks that it's already a lot of value. And for AI, like AI as of now, the AI videos, especially videos, they aren't that good yet. But like pretty soon they will become better and better. Like we already noticed it. Like every month there's looks like some kind of advancement in video gen AI. And so we have a friend in the Higgsfield team, one of the biggest video gen AIs out there. And we also know people from other like startups in the space. So, and we'll know even more of them because we want to work together. We want to basically amplify both of our systems. Like they help create the videos and we help distribute them. So that's a win-win for both parties, right? With time, I believe like even outside of like fully AI made videos, the AI will help to, create human videos even more productively. So, fixing some small mistakes, fixing things that are very tedious to edit. So a lot of video editing AI is also starting to be created that is professional, that is not just, a one-click, video repurposing that's simple, but actually fixing the specific problems that video editors and video production teams have. And so AI plays like a giant role in like making this whole industry even more efficient, I believe, and even more like being able to come up with more creative ideas, which is the key point at the end of the day. Like people want this controversial, new, unique, interesting ideas, and they want to see them in like across all sorts of mediums, including videos and images too.
Makes sense.
Yeah, this is just an example of one of the accounts.
I see. So this is 5,690 profile activity. Okay, so that's like 4,900 profile visits, and 700 of those like 5,000 people are clicking the link in bio.
Yep.
So that's decent. That's what's that? 750 divided by 5K. That's like 15%. That's actually like a decent click-through rate. Is that like a good benchmark that you guys go for? 15%?
It varies, depends on the campaign. I think it's from like it can be 3% in some bad cases. It can be like up to, I think our best was about 50 or 60% when the content was engaging and the profile was set up in the right way.
But I'd say 15% is a good benchmark. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about like how people can access this. Like you said that you serve clients right now and you'll do like the mass commenting as a service. So I understand that you guys kind of like have a agency service around that, but then when we were talking earlier, you said that you're working on a platform as well.
So we'll build an MVP like within a week. So it's very, it's our highest priority right now, basically. So we wanted to provide this as a platform for quite a long time now. The way it will work is, as you can see, you'll be able to manage your whole like fleet of social agents. So, for example, the main platforms are TikTok and Instagram, right? And so across each of the networks, you have this dashboard where you can see which every single account is doing. So what are they doing at this exact moment? And you can see like even the specific flows that they go through. So Nick, if you can scroll down, you'll see detailed stats that will show like your total engagement and total results and total volume of content and comments and other things. And you'll also be able to break them down by each agent and export them in like beautiful format. And the way that you'll create these automations is you'll be able to just type it in plain English and you'll get this whole flow built for you. You can then customize it the way you want, or you can ask AI to customize it. The second option is to select one of the community templates. So since this will be a platform where like everyone can use it, we'll know which approaches work the best. And so you'll be able to customize them again for your specific use case and just use one of those. And we'll give you a few of our own templates. Like right now, like you said, we provide the comments as a service, but you won't need us for this. You'll just be able to click one click within this dashboard, and you'll get your own like service. So basically, that's the same thing that we use right now on our backend. You'll have access to it directly, and you can do whatever you want with them. You can test different approaches at scale and so on. Yeah, the last one is just you'll be able to obviously also control the branding for each agent. So you can change their names, can change their bios, everything that is available from within the apps you can do. Like the same goes for even Instagram stories and highlights. So they would never look like bots that people usually do and talk about. This will look like purely like human-made accounts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really fascinating. I think one thing that comes to mind whenever a niche way of doing distribution becomes productized into a platform like this is it makes me think there's not that many people who know the art of doing that service. So for example, if you do viral TikTok UGC with just regular humans and you try to turn that, and that's an agency, and someone does that as a service where they, you know, manage each creator, they come up with the hooks, they do 30 minutes a day of scrolling and finding winning formats. That's the art of it. And then the science of it is how do you scale that across like a bunch of different people and build a process around it. And what you guys are doing here is kind of like building a process around IG commenting. But I would think that if people are signing up to do this, you still have to have the art side of it. Like you can't just click a couple buttons and then your startup blows up, you know, like there has to be strategy, and not everyone who uses, you know, a platform and automates the logistics of the thing is necessarily going to win. So what do you think is that core thing that people need to be thinking about? If all of the logistics is automated away and they want to do mass commenting, how can someone get really good at figuring out how to actually manage this, the creativity side?
That's a good question. And I think it applies to any kind of platform. Like the same thing goes for Facebook ads, for example, or Google ads, for any kind of ads. If you want good results, you need to work in it, right? You can't just expect the platform to do everything for you. So yeah, the good options, I mean, they are quite obvious. You need like they always say, copywriting and storytelling. So like we said like we showed in the examples before, the comments cannot be strictly promotional. You can't just spam one thing and expect results from this. No, the platform and nor the audience are gonna like it. So you need to came up with the structure of each comment so that it will capture people's attention and then convert them, right? So make them curious to visit your profile, or make them curious to go to the App Store and type in your app name. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you would need like these basic principles, like the ADA framework or any kind of other copywriting framework that there are. And we'll show some like simple guides from within the platform to like direct people into the right way. But yeah, it's the people who already know how to do it will just be able to scale their skills infinitely with this. And yeah, people who are just starting out, they'll have to learn a little bit.
How did you guys get good at copywriting? Because you've done it for a few clients and it seems like you've gotten pretty good results. So curious how you guys like got good at copywriting.
Just a ton of iterations, actually. Sometimes you just sit and watch a video and then will come up in your head because you just heard something in the video. So sometimes we just brainstorm any angles and then we just come up with a few examples. And sometimes, AI can suggest a few, I wouldn't say suggest a few ideas, but the directions of ideas. That's just a creative process, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would add that a lot of YouTube videos. So like I personally watched a ton of them, and audiobooks too, like influence one of the best like books about practical psychology. And so the same things applies to copywriting, to video creation, to anything, like to any sort of communication between people. So yeah, I guess that's what people should also consume if they want to, do it. And then it comes to practice. So you start with some principles. The YouTube is full of videos that, talk about it. And then you just go and practice it in a while, and you get better at it.
Last question to you guys. Is there any, what's next for you guys? What are you excited about? And what's next? What are you guys excited about?
Right now, we are developing our platform. We are getting the MVP. We are getting our first design partners, and also we are doing all the paperwork right now to get to SF in a couple of months. We have a few friends there that want to talk with us, and working on this stuff.
Awesome. Well, I'll leave your links and everything in the description so people can check you out. And thanks so much for the talk. This was like a little more unconventional than what I normally put on the channel, but I'm someone who always loves learning about what is on the absolute edge of distribution. I was calling things like clipping or UGC like a year or two ago. I was like, every consumer app should be doing this. And people were like, no, like this is ridiculous. Like ads, influencers are better or ads are better. And there's a lot of other things that I also called that were wrong. So I'm not saying I'm like a crystal ball, but if you want to innovate and be at the edge of distribution, like I think it's helpful to look at like new things. And this is like definitely really interesting, and you can take away things, like a lot of learnings from it.
One more thing that I wanted to say is, we actually got a couple of our first design partners from your consumer club. It's actually pretty interesting because we had a friend that was a long-time member of your club, and he suggested that he would post like a little post about our work, I think about a year ago. And we got our, best performing clients out of your club. So thanks for that. And I suggest everyone to join it.
That's awesome. I did not prompt this consumer club pitch, but I appreciate the testimonial. It's great to hear that you found like really good talent from the group. That's great to hear. Thanks for being on the pod, guys.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Something you might not know, most of the founders I cover on this podcast are hanging out right now in the Consumer Club Discord, sharing with each other what's working now for consumer apps. So you can apply to join Consumer Club if that sounds interesting to you. And this is the Superwall podcast. Of course, you got to check out superwall.com. We have more videos on the channel. So dig into those to learn from app founders who are willing to share super tactical stuff about app growth.